Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, brought to you by the Hard Truth Distilling Company in Brown County, Indiana.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, it's time!
Three on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Ayler's gone. Come on, touchdown, Indy! Woo! I-U! America! They got a football team now!
Pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now, from the Hard Truth Studios, here's Jim Coyle.
Welcome aboard. How are you doing? Welcome to Churchill Downs on this Kentucky Oaks Day. It's not Derby Day. It's Derby Day light, I guess you would call it. But beautiful day right now. A lot of concern for the weather coming in for this major event. But we'll mix in some hoops and horses today as Todd Leary will join us. Zach Osterman also will join us as well. We'll kind of catch up on things. It's kind of slowed down for Indiana, and still waiting to actually pick up that final big guy, final big name, as we'll talk about what they're going to do with that spot, because that's something they do have to fill. But looking forward to talking to those guys and whatever characters we can find walking around today, as there'll probably be a few. You can hear in the background the famous call to the post, but I don't think they are starting just yet. It must be a practice run. Hope everybody, the weekend has started off right. And if you're in the region, that you're probably celebrating Derby in some fashion. And just like up in the Indy area, parties galore around. And it's funny, though, I was thinking about this. Being in Bloomington, even though you're as close as you are, you're literally less than 2 hours from Churchill Downs, but it's a complete different world. It's not, there's no Derby chatter really. It's a complete line of demarcation. But hope everyone is enjoying their day. I cannot read your comments today. I can't see them. So if you're wondering why, if I'm not responding to something, that would be why. So we've got that going for us, which is great on this lovely Kentucky Oaks Day. As you see the people making their way in, I'm hoping to see some really some cool get-ups, although that usually will really happen tomorrow when they go all out. It'll be Katie bar the door, men and women. That's the funny thing is some of the guys, they don't care. They come up with some funky stuff. But it's the same at the it's not quite the same at Indianapolis. It's a completely different feel. Indianapolis is about racing. It's about the race. Everybody goes there for that. And so it's just a different situation, different setup. This is more of a southern. I think the dressing up part of it must be a crossover from the southern culture. Because they sure like to dress up and go to Keeneland when Keeneland is running. But, Aaron, if you want to jump in here for a second, because I can't see or read anything. Anything happening over the night that I missed out on?
Over the night, went on with Shannon Griffith last night talked a little bit of IU football with him. And, we were talking a lot about Curtis Rourke going to the 49ers along with CJ West. But great show lined up today. Todd Leary, Alec, Lasley, and Zach Osterman coming on, and a lot of stuff to talk about Indiana basketball. Can't wait to see what Todd has to say about the new pickups every week. I always look forward to it. So
yeah, well, I'm looking forward to see what he has to say about this final position that they have to fill. Not that it's the last scholarship, but they have to fill this 5 spot with somebody, and I think that they're waiting on what I understand, Federico to see if his price comes down. that's where we are in college sports, people. And I'm not saying that to complain about it, because it is what it is. I'm not saying these guys don't deserve to get paid, but it's a reality. It's just new and it's just different. If you go back and you think about pro sports, those guys, there was a time when they didn't make any money, and so their payroll has gone up and up. It's just staggering how quickly and how fast this has gone up. The money in this situation, it has doubled and then some year over year over just these. So something a huge deal. Now guys are trying to bump up to 4 million. I'm not sure that in basketball anyone's managed to get that, but in football probably so. And we saw that Texas most likely spending between $35 and $40 million on their football team this upcoming season. Well, how do you compete with that? So it's going to be a question for a lot of teams. Even programs like Indiana, they're going to have their $20 million that comes in from the revenue share, of which football is going to get 75% of that. But I don't know. It's a crazy question.
It's turned into like a modern day gold rush almost. I mean, you got young kids making more money than most people make in like their lifetime. So yeah, it's pretty wild. And it's affecting everything in football. I mean, I really think the whole Shedeur Sanders thing had a lot to do with, he was already a big star, already had a lot of money, already had a lot of NIL money. What does the NFL really provide for him? I think we're going to see more and more of that type of thing, because the NFL has always been about the shield, and these college players are making $8 million playing quarterback position. So yeah, it is a wild world of college sports.
And if you're wondering why I'm looking around to see if I can catch somebody, some great outfits today. That's why I'm just turning around, and because they're all coming from behind me right now. But everyone, the gates have opened. People are filing in, finding their spot, trying to race to their spot, get to their. A lot of people have the spot saved for years. They come to the same place year over year, and you got to get there early, get that sweet spot. I don't know how far into the show we are, so I guess I could walk up and see that, but not far enough. Yep, 8 minutes in. Just want to make sure that I don't miss up on Todd coming on with us, because I don't have a watch on today. Left that at home, which is good. Not what time is, but what minutes past the hour or till the hour is?
It is 9:06.
All right, there we'll have the 9 anyway. Could have went with just the 06, but we'll use the 9. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, Todd Leary will join us shortly thereafter. Coming to you from Churchill Downs on Kentucky Oaks Day. Back with more right after these messages.
Well,
mark the time. You'll have to edit it. Are they not?
Yeah, I'm clicking these blocks, and everybody's getting a real behind the scenes look right here.
Well, hey, why don't you? Hey, it's all right. Just you have to edit them in afterwards.
Okay.
But you have to mark the time.
All right, I got the time marked down. We're at 9 minutes for that.
Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue, and you get it for just 0.9% financing. Or the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition or the Honda Accord LX, both for just 1.9% financing. Get more to your door from AndyMooreHonda.com, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer and your best place for new and used vehicles. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth Sour Mash Bourbons, Sweet Mash, and Hard Road Ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular Toasted Coconut Rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back to the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios, which are mobile today, coming to you from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby, of course. Today it's Oaks Day, the Kentucky Oaks Day. Bad timing. We finally got into that break, and Marty Smith walked by. I could have grabbed him, and I chatted with him for a second, but bad timing. Man, that's why, if you notice, you have a different view now. I flopped it around. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start looking at people as they're coming on to me so I can grab them as they walk by. But, yeah, beautiful day here at Churchill Downs as the Kentucky Oaks. I know it's a little different show than you're used to, but that's okay. Got to be a little flexible, add some variety. Actually, I'm standing, as I look forward now, I'm beside the paddock, which is new relative for the last couple of years. They've really completely changed it. If you've never been to Churchill Downs, it's a pretty cool experience. It's like going to Indy. It's an experience that you should definitely experience if you have not done so. Those are both just iconic events, and it's worth the hassle to go through. But you can really minimize the hassle, at least for the Derby. You get here a little early, like these people are. They're filing in, picking their spots, getting to the beer lines early. No lines for beer right now.
Old world money, old world charm down there. And Todd is ready to go. He's
Poppy man, baby. I didn't know.
All right.
Great. You can pop out, brother. How are you? Todd, Leary, how are you, sir?
What's up, Sunshine? How are you this morning?
Oh, and I wish I looked as good as some of these people around me, man. These beautiful, beautiful, beautiful suits here. Give us a little view here. That's why I turned around there. See all that? Lovely. Where are you from?
Wisconsin, Green Bay.
Where's the cheese, man? Where's the cheese?
They wouldn't let us bring it in.
First time down here?
Second. We were here last year.
Enjoy. What are you having?
Lily. Oaks Lily.
Yep. Good note. Perfect. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. The hell's a Lily?
I don't know, but that's an aggressive outfit to come out with on Friday morning. I hope he's got a better one for tomorrow, I assume, right?
You know what? I guess if you got a suit game that's strong, you got a roster. You got a roster full.
Yep.
How's Todd Leary doing?
I'm good.
How was the week?
It looks like I'm in a tunnel. I got a lot of darkness going on, but
well, I can't see you, so you're all good. I can't see you.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's great. The recruiting for Indiana basketball is starting to slow down. Most of the pieces, not scholarships, but most of the pieces are kind of filled, except for they still seem to need. I hate to use the word 5, but what else are you going to call it? A big guy? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean they need rebounding and depth at the foul spot. I guess I'll say it. Like they need the ability to be able to, you know, go through 5 or 10 fouls, and get that from guys that you know can still contribute in other ways. But yeah, they've got to get some rebounding and some depth at the 5 location.
Yeah, because if not, and even if you have athletes, great athletes, they're going to have to start. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fouls given up because when you're giving up that kind of height, say if you're going against a 7'2" guy, and you've got a lot of 6'8" guys on this team, even though they're very athletic, very very good rebounders, you're still going to have to go through a lot of body to get to that. And like you just pointed out, the fouls pile up, and I don't. The style of offense they're going to run, how else is not running a big out there going to impact them, or would it?
Yeah, I mean they'll have to play a little different, where they'll play, you know, maybe a little small ball, I guess, for lack of a better term. But I mean, they're, you know, it's not like every team has a Zach Edey, and so, you know, being that most teams deal with, you know, having an undersized team, and you saw a lot of teams last year, but they do need that one guy that that is just known as a rebounder, and that doesn't mean that's what he's had to been in the past, but you know, they definitely need some depth in that rebounding. I'm not even going to call it a 5. I shouldn't have said that. It's definitely in the rebounding aspect is where I think they need the biggest help right now.
Yeah, what do we call it though? The 5s, it's so easy. It's easy to use. Use the numbers. Center, see, there's not even a center anymore, is there? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
big athlete.
Positionless basketball started a long time ago, but you know, it's at a whole different level now. Like there's a lot of teams playing with, you know, 3 point guards on the floor, and you know, there's a lot of teams playing with 4 forwards on the floor. So it's a different game now. The key for me, like I'd much rather be in the position Indiana's in, where it appears that they have guys that can knock down shots, and now we're trying to fill in other pieces versus guys that I felt like we were going to have to develop to knock down shots all summer long, because it's not been their game, and that's not the case. Like they've got a lot of guys that are used to knocking down shots, and that's a big benefit.
Yeah, a lot of high shooting percentages. There are also some guys that have high rebounding percentages, although they're not. There's a lot of 6'8" guys. That Josh Harris for one, very high rebounding percentage, and which are a good thing, especially on the offensive side. Which means you're aggressive. You're going after it. You're conscious of that. He was on with us earlier this week, and that is something that he works on, and you have to. You can see guys. There are certain guys that are successful. They're not successful at that by accident.
Yeah, and you know what? When you've got 3 or 4 guys that are good rebounders for their position, you know, you can make up for not having that one, you know, sole rebounder, that one guy that's in there to clean the glass. And so, you know, I do think that they have above average rebounders at their other positions, which will definitely be a help. But, you know, there's also going to be those games where you need the extra fouls, you need that bigger body, you need to be able to go in there and bang with someone, even if they're not going to give you a whole lot offensively. They've got to be able to take stuff away from the other team defensively. And that's just a component. Yeah, we're dreaming up best case scenario. They may go through this season without that person on the roster. But over the years, that'll be something that they'll have. And there's still time. They may still get somebody this year.
And if they do go without that person this year, which not been something to say they won't, because like the portal's there, the names are in it, and even though it's closed, it just means you can't enter it anymore. They can pick up a guy in August,
right,
or whatever. Obviously, the odds are usually it happens sooner rather than later, because if they're available, then you're going to get them when you can. But if they don't, then you're going to look at a team that is going to rely on very athletic rebounding, and it's probably that would change how you attack, not attack defensively, how you attack teams.
I mean, I think that they're going to pretty much do the stuff that they're good at. And you know, I don't know if it changes how you attack teams. It might make them, you know, if they don't have that rebounder spot, it might make them more dangerous offensively. But they're going to need that. Like, you might not need it in every game. You especially might not need it in the early part of the season. But once the conference starts, you need those big bodies to be able to just rotate in and bang with other teams. And, it's not a super productive spot that I think they're looking for. They're not looking for an Omar Ballo, a guy that's going to, get 13 rebounds a game, but they do need somebody that's going to get 7 rebounds a game and have 5 more fouls and be a big body that can go in there and defend. And so I think that's the one position they're probably looking to shore up right now.
And with all the guys that they have added, a massive amount of wings and forwards and guards, they're heavy, all the way around with shooters, as you mentioned earlier. And that is going to afford a much different look to what people have seen over the last few years. But it's also going to be a more exciting brand of basketball, I think. I mean, I would imagine that's what it lends itself to.
Well, I tell you what it is going to be. It's going to be a team that plays hard. That's the feeling that I have. Like, I really think these guys are going to, they're going to be scrappy. They're going to play hard. They're going to try to out physical you. And that's a fun position to look forward to. We've not had the most exciting team, I think, to watch in the last few years. And, I do feel like this year they've got a little different juice and they're going to be a little bit better. I know I'm excited to see it. I know you are. The fans, it's just, I'm glad that this offseason we have something to really look forward to, because last offseason I thought it was a struggle. I struggled to get excited about a lot of stuff.
I think a lot of people did. And it is exciting to look forward to covering an exciting brand of ball to a fan base that can have something to really get excited about. And it is going to be the thing about talking to these guys. And I don't want to be that guy that throws all these dumb predictions out. Oh, they're going to do this, that. I don't know what they're going to do, but it seems like for a group of guys that have never met each other, that have never played with each other, that really have no relationship to Indiana, they all seem to be coming together for the same reason. They all are talking the same language. And saying that reminds me again of what happened after Kurt Signetti arrived. You heard the players, they were all talking the same language, and it started to resonate. And it was real. Now, anybody can say whatever they want. They can say all the right things. Are you going to do the right things? We'll find out. But as of right now, they seem oriented towards that common goal.
Yeah, and that started with the very first press conference that Coach DeVries had when he talked about the locker room was going to be important. And to me, I think I've said it every week on your show since that press conference. That to me was the most important part of everything that he talked about was, just the locker room and the fact that they're going to get quality, high character guys that are, it just was going to be different. Like this locker room is going to be different. And I think they're putting together guys that fit in that mold. They already bringing in Tucker DeVries and guys that he's used to playing with already. And then adding Trent Sicily, he's always going to fit in any team mold and going to do whatever the coaches ask. And so that's what they're putting together. And when you've got a locker room that's connected, it makes a difference. And I think, I also say this every week. Like, we saw Kansas and Indiana last year that had high-priced rosters but never really connected. And I think we're not going to have that situation next year. I think this Indiana team will definitely be connected.
No, because the more you think about it, you think about these teams that came together with other players, just like Indiana, the situation Indiana is in. It's like they all come in with a chip on their shoulder because all these guys are mid-majors and come from the mid-majors, but they get their shot, and a lot of them have succeeded. The Sturts kid, man, he goes from Division II to playing for Iowa. And so you're going to see a lot more of that, that's the great thing about this transfer situation. And one of the good things about it is we're seeing guys that we probably would not see have the success that some of them are having.
Yeah, it is. And that, that's been the key over the last few years. I mean, you had the Dalton Connect a couple of years ago at Tennessee. Last year you had Kobe Brea at Kentucky. You just had a bunch of different guys that are able to move up to a different level, and it also tells you what a small gap there is between Division I and Division II. And like I said before, a lot of it comes down to just how they're connected and how they play together, and that's what I'm the most excited about. Last year I was doom and gloom all summer long because I did not like the build of the roster that we had. I thought we were too slow and going to be too big and bulky for today's college basketball. And I obviously don't feel that way about this team. I think they got a bunch of guys that can spread the floor. And, I think they're all going to play hard. And when you add those things together with the skill levels that they have, I'm excited about where we're going to be.
Have you gone back and watched any of Darian DeVries' Drake teams or his West Virginia teams and gotten a sense of their play?
I really haven't, but I do remember watching them. I remember watching 2 years ago when he was at Drake, and I remember him and his son on the floor and how they controlled the floor controlled the game a lot like you saw Drake do this year. I think they opened it up a little bit at West Virginia. I saw a couple of games this season. I haven't gone back and watched it since he was hired, but I did watch them throughout the season a little bit, and they opened it up. They moved up and down the floor a little bit faster. I think at Drake they played a little slower, but I see the same thing coming in here. I think they'll try to open it up and get up and down the floor and score, but I also don't think they're going to take bad shots, and I think they're going to be selective about the shots that are taken. But when you've got four guys on the floor that can all knock shots down, the shots tend to come quicker than when you're all trying to work it around to one guy or maybe two guys that are good shooters. I think Indiana's going to have 3 to 4 to 5 guys at times that can knock down shots on the court.
I think the former University of Louisville sports information director, Kenny Klein, just walked by. Damn it, if I'd have saw him coming the other way, I'd have grabbed him. The U of L stats team, they did like the NCAA. I think they still do it. They've done it, the NCAA Final Four for like 40 years or something under his direction. Pretty cool. But, yeah. Well, I wish you were down here, man.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I bet it's going to be a good weekend. I'm jealous of you.
Hold on. If you think you're jealous, I'm going to pull this one in. Hey, I need a shot of this, man. I gotta have me some of this. Gotta have me some of this here. Look at this. Boy, make sure you get a shot at it.
I understand the assignment.
Where are you from?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, Brewers.
We're walking in the breast cancer survivors parade.
Oh, congratulations. Very good.
Cheers.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
I meant to wear I brought my pink tie. I didn't wear it. I forgot. But you look fantastic. Enjoy your day. There you go. Breast Cancer Survivors Day. And speaking of which, Cheryl Sizemore is at a Habitat for Humanity build today. Shout out to her and her crew. All women, Todd, an all-women crew on this Habitat for Humanity build. I think it's up in Mooresville. She'll correct me on Monday, let us know where it was. But shout out to her and all her peeps that they're doing there. And if you need a home in the Indianapolis area, Cheryl Sizemore.
Is it going to be a 2,000 square foot house and the bathrooms are going to be 1,800 square feet of it if all women are doing it?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm not going to touch that one, baby. Not going to touch that one. That's a good one. Hey,
I'm saying that I'm positive.
Well, hey, and you know what, though? I would maybe do that. You could put a recliner in there.
Hey. Let's end this conversation. I've already dug the hole. Let's just fill it.
Put a hot tub in there with a TV so you can watch the games.
Yep.
Be set up right. We're going to a break before we get too crazy. We're down we've moved the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios south to Churchill Downs for Kentucky Oaks Day. We've got lots more coming up. Back with it right after these messages.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's COYLE, to receive a discounted fundraiser. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth's sour mash bourbons, sweet mash, and hard road ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular toasted coconut rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back to the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios. Looks like we may have lost Todd. Hopefully he'll be back with us. But glad to have you back, coming to you from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, where we have moved the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios, home of Woodford Reserve. There, I shouldn't have said that, but there's a lot of that around us. So rather have the hard truth with us, though. It's in my heart. Got the hard truth in my heart. So, Aaron, what happened? Did we lose?
Yeah, as soon as he, I don't know if he got disconnected or what, but as soon as he pops back in here, I'll feed him into you.
No worries. No worries. Yeah, I was hoping to see some more of these outstanding outfits, man. That last pic may have burned my retina, though. I didn't think about breast cancer. They do a big walk. Everybody that is a survivor, witness survivor, had a survivor, I think, they walk from all the way around the track, which it's a pretty long line of parade of people out there. So shout out to those folks today as well. And again to Cheryl Sizemore and her group of all women. Boy, can't believe Todd said that. With the Habitat for Humanity build today, so congratulations to Cheryl and her crew. We'll have to get her on maybe next week and hear about that. I guess she was telling me about it beforehand. Yeah, make sure you go to Cheryl. She's great and help you out. She will do the extra things, go the extra mile for you. So, looking forward to Todd hopefully coming back on with us. I can't reach out to him right now while we're on.
We're getting a lot of requests for you to try a drink called Lily down there. It's the official drink of the Oaks Day, I guess. So
the Lily, Lilly.
Yep, the Lily drink.
That's what I thought. She said I would walk over and get one because it's right there, but I'm afraid if I move, we'd lose service. But I'll tell you what I'll do in the next break. I'll try to run over and get one as quickly as I can. Hell, I may not have enough money to get a drink. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah, what are they? $15, $20? Is it Yankee Stadium prices?
Oh yeah. I think it's a friend of mine said I think it was an $18 drink or a beer. I can't remember. It was. But yeah. Kenny Klein is coming. Kenny Klein's a former sports information director for the University of Louisville, and he is well known throughout the sports industry. He's walking towards me, so I'm going to grab him as he comes by, and we'll have him fill it to Todd. Hey, Kenny, come here. I saw you walk by earlier. I'm like, damn it, there goes Kenny Klein, the former University of Louisville sports information director. What are you doing now?
I'm retired. I've still done a few things. I spent a few months with St. John's this year in basketball season just to help out in the situation of need they had. So, but otherwise, just retired and doing a few things here, helping with the track here today a little bit.
Otherwise, the relationship obviously with Rick Pitino from the Louisville days, and boy, he did a great job at St. John's.
It was terrific. That was, there's a lot of things that made that a fun assignment, but being with him was the thing that made it, really special. And to see the team do so well, to see as much success as he's had to win 3 National Coach of the Year awards that he'd never won before, was pretty special too for me.
And now Indiana is in a situation like St. John's was last year, except for St. John's had Rick Pitino, who is still, to me, I think he's one of the greatest coaches ever in the game. He's definitely probably the best coach in the game today. And he is just nonstop. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Darian DeVries in Indiana's in that same situation. You saw him go through that. What's it like for a team or a program having to go through now in this new age of college athletics?
It's different, so different than 40 years in Louisville, and things have changed dramatically. But the good thing for St. John's, where it's different for a team like Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky that have so much tradition. It's almost like that doesn't matter anymore. Great facilities don't matter as much anymore. It's it goes down to money and who's got the money that can pay the kids and get the best team assembled. You still got to find guys that fit your system, guys that want to play for you, hopefully play for the name on the front too. That you can't just it can't just all be about money. So you got to find that right mix. In Coach Pitino's situation, that's how St. John's got back so quickly. They've had tradition, but it's 40 years ago or so when they were in Final Fours and such. So it's a different day and age. There's there could be a team that you don't know about. I tell you, a team to watch really in the future is BYU. They've obviously got some money. They're investing in the players and such. They could be in a Final Four really
I've talked about them a lot. I'm like, where the hell has BYU come from? Now they've got the #1 recruit, AJ Devanza, going there.
Right.
They have just been rolling it. And I'm like, where's this come from? It's crazy. And then in football, we've just seen where Texas is apparently maybe spending between $35 and $40 million for their team this year.
It's just crazy, man. I mean, it's just hard for me to fathom it a lot of times. When you're watching, back in the days, you were trying to guard the kids as best you could, so they didn't have distractions, and now their contact information is open out there. They're wanting to get more NIL opportunities and such. So it's so different right now.
Well, man, I am so glad to see you. I'm glad you came back by because I was so disappointed when I saw you walking through. I recognized you from the side. I'm like, oh, man, I hope he comes back. But, appreciate it, man. Enjoy it, and happy Oaks Day.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Kenny. Kenny Klein, former University of Louisville sports information director, and has done a lot of things, as you've heard talking about now, helping out here at Churchill, but working with Rick Pitino last season as well. Yes, sir.
So Todd has not come back, so I guess Alec will be coming on next, or I don't know.
No, yeah, we're good. And Zach Osterman will be joining us in the. I think it should be the next break. It's really hard to keep up with things when you're out in the field and you can't see them, you can't see the timelines. But no, Zach Osterman will be joining us in the next segment. Yeah, that's about how that. But man, it is going to be actually a nice day out here today, which is surprisingly good. But luckily for me, I did find the spot that I have located myself at is right in front of over a walkway deal. So I just have to take about 7 steps backwards, and I will be undercover. Hopefully we'll get some. Go ahead.
Looks beautiful down there. Like the sun's peeking out a little bit.
Oh yeah, just a mix of clouds, not much. Just a little layer, but you can see the sky, and the temperatures are great. Absolutely, the temperatures are perfect. Geez, it feels like it's about 68 degrees, 69, maybe 70. I had to walk, it seemed like 5 miles, unfortunately, to get in, and all the walking that you do. But yeah, I finally made it in, and I broke the sweat getting in, so I'm glad to have the lower temperatures, without question. Trying to get rid of something out of there. But, oh man, yeah, I'm going to get the lily. The lily. So what's in? So now you got to tell me, what all is in the lily? I can't just go over there blind. I've got to.
1 part vodka, triple sec, cranberry juice.
Oh yeah, that's what that dude has. Yeah, that looked like a gin and tonic, man, or vodka tonic, or
yeah,
what it looked like with a splash of cranberry,
something like that. Yep. One person put the drink in here, but yeah, it's better than the mint julep. I heard a lot of people saying mint julep tastes like dirt. So I don't know. I've never really tried those, but I'm not from Alabama, so
what does Alabama have to do with it?
I just feel like people in Alabama drink those on their porches when they're in their rocking chairs before air conditioning. That's what comes in my mind when I think of mint julep.
Yeah, that's I always think of the Derby, but yeah, I guess back in the day in the old Southern deals. But yeah, absolutely, step on up. Where you from?
Terry Beck, Castroville, Texas.
Oh man,
my great uncle rode in 1933 right here.
Is that right?
Albert Sachs Beck.
Well, ain't that cool? So where is it in Texas you from?
Just west of San Antonio.
Oh, you're down south, man.
Yeah, down in Castroville.
They got Whataburger down there, though?
Oh, yeah. Dairy Queen, too.
Buc-ee's.
I don't care about
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's is a new thing, man. I'm a Whataburger hardcore Whataburger guy.
Well, we got it in our town.
So you guys got a crew with you?
Yeah.
That's the, these are all Beck's. That was their uncle.
We're going to the museum
right
to get
here.
pictures of the program when we rode and everything.
So why this year?
Huh?
Why this year?
Because
really?
we had issues with our elderly parents, and we had to book it around that.
There you go.
Right?
4 sixes.
4 6s. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's who we rode for the wagon.
Is that right?
And the horse was straight away.
How about that? I knew that. See, I knew that ahead of time.
Yeah, 3D stock car. Had the reverse D's.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty incredible. So was your great grandfather? Is he?
Great uncle.
Great uncle. Man, 1933. Very, very cool. Historical.
All right.
Very historical. Enjoy it.
You got any picks for today? Come on. Turn it loose.
Take the 4th horse in the 6th race.
4th horse in the 6th race. 4th horse.
That's a good guess there.
Damn right it is. Oh, man. Having fun out here.
We'll mess that all up.
Yeah, no, it's great. Enjoy yourself, man. That's what it's about, people. Having some fun now. That's why I wanted to come down here and do that. And I'm glad I ended up coming over on this side instead of. I thought about going to the backside today and going back there, but I'm glad I did this instead. Now, if I were further down on the other side of the paddock area, there would probably be a lot more people already. But maybe I'm glad that I'm not, because this allows me to just kind of buffer it a little bit. Don't have the rush, the entire rush of crazy. But that was kind of cool. His great uncle rode in the Derby back in 1933, and he got a whole family that was here. They're headed to the museum. So, pretty nice, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
having
awesome.
fun.
Get a nice flow of people coming through there.
Yeah, a little different show than what you're used to, I understand. But ladies, come over here. I haven't had any ladies in here yet today. Where are you from?
We're from Northern Kentucky, up by Cincinnati.
Oh, so what? First time down here for this event?
My third.
Hold on, step over here. You can't see you. We're off.
This is, I don't even know, 10th, 11th, 12th?
Wow, you're a veteran.
Yes, I've been coming for a long time.
Did you bring your own cup, did you?
No, you can go over to Woodford, and if you don't have $5,000 to buy mint julep, they will give you a copper cup for free.
We prefer Hard Truth, but I know that they sell their stuff. But
What's Hard Truth?
Hard Truth. Hard Truth bourbon.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Ah, see?
And we like bourbon, so.
Oh, look it up. And if you're from Northern Kentucky, they're in Nashville, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
They have an incredible place to go visit, but you can get it anywhere. It's for sale everywhere. It's well known. Yeah. Look it up. They've got all kinds of things, man. Cinnamon vodka. They've got a bourbon cream for your coffee.
Yes, in the morning.
Bourbon cream for your coffee. Now we're talking. We'll pick me up. There you go. Well, ladies, enjoy. You look beautiful. Enjoy the day. Have all winners, I hope.
Yes, absolutely.
What's your name? Emma.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, have a good one.
Emma and Chelsea joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat. Trying to sell that hard truth. How about that? But it's going to be hard to. Yeah, this is more of a different bourbon area, and I'm not going to say any of those names. I'm just talking about hard truth. That's
Next year, you got to have Hard Truth send you some free samples. That way you can take them down there, set up a whole table, and you can get some people on camera, like doing a shots, maybe get a shaker down there.
I'm pretty sure that the sign, that is a big sign that's in front of me, those people would not. No, it's a different brand. And so those people would not be happy if we did that. I'm quite certain of that.
Yeah, I'm sure to advertise your liquor there has to be an expensive deal.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, no, it's a little different show today than normal, but we're mixing in some horses and hoops and whatnot. Zach Osterman will join us in the next segment. We'll get back to talking some IU athletics and whatever else is going on. But trying to mix in some people as they walk by, entering the Kentucky Oaks today. As this is the second biggest day at Churchill Downs of the year, besides the Derby, which will obviously is tomorrow. But they'll get quite a few. It'll be 100,000 plus here today at Churchill Downs, and it is the Phillies. It's the Derby for the Phillies in essence. But see a lot of people in pink. It is also Breast Cancer Awareness Day, so that's a pretty cool deal they do. They have the walk all the way around the track, and it's a pretty long walk. I'm surprised. I wonder how those women do that. They have to bring 2 pairs of shoes, unless they go barefooted. You can't walk across the track in high heels, and so I bring a spare pair of shoes, I guess.
Some free aeration right there. So,
well, that's very possible. I mean, get back over there and just wipe them off. That could work.
It's rough.
But never know. Things that just thoughts that may go on. Who's
we got about 4 minutes till the next break, but
perfect. For the people that are listening, who's the Derby pick? You got one? Have you even paid attention? I know that journalism has been the favorite, which has been cool, something we've been playing off of that name all week. But I see. Oh my! I hope I can get them. At least the Derby Queens that are possibly walking this way. It's Miss Foundation something. Are you able to hear them? Okay. Who are you all the queen of?
We are part of the Miss Kentucky organization, which is through Miss America. So we're all local title holders, and we'll be competing for Miss Kentucky. Oh, hello.
All the way. Oh, there we go. Now say it.
So we are part of the Miss Kentucky organization through the Miss America opportunity. We're all local titles here throughout the state of Kentucky, and we'll be competing for Miss Kentucky in June.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. My name is Candace, and I'm Miss Fountain Square Park.
Amanda, and I'm Miss Highland Heights.
And I'm Olivia Copeland Andrews, and I'm your Miss Nelson County.
Well, very nice. So what are your responsibilities?
So we are working with the Churchill Downs Foundation to sell 50/50 raffle tickets to support local nonprofits here in Louisville.
Very, very cool. Well, enjoy it, and good luck.
Thank you.
Your endeavors with that as well. Y'all look fantastic.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Here we go. We've got all kinds of action going on down here at Churchill Downs. Queens and guys in pink suits. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I see another one coming at me. It's so destructive. This is the worst place in the world to be for someone like me, who is. I saw someone comment one day that he's an ADHD mess, and I'm like, you have no idea how truthful you are, or how dead on I am ADHD to the nth degree, without question about that. And this is so bad for me because you want to talk about the ultimate in distractions right now, looking for people, grabbing people, pull them in. But we'll make it happen. We'll make it work. That's what we do, right? But we'll have fun doing it along the way as we're coming to you from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, side of today's Kentucky Oaks, the running of the Kentucky Oaks, preceding tomorrow's Kentucky Derby, which hopefully the rain stays off of them tomorrow. But man, as big as this thing is today, tomorrow's even bigger. The outfits get bigger. The hats. We have, speaking of hats, well, we're running right up against the break, I know. And I'm going to try to get this hat in right before we go. But I don't know if we'll make it. He's a slow walker. But maybe that hat's wearing it up. Hey, I just want to get a shot of the hat, man. You're the first good hat I've seen come in. Where are you from?
Oh, yeah.
I'm from here in Louisville, my 36th Derby.
What's your name?
Pam.
Pam? Her 36th Derby. What's your name?
Richard.
Richard. Enjoy it. Beautiful hat.
Thank you.
Looks awesome. All right, there you go. We've got a great hat to take us to break, and we'll do that now. We've got lots more coming up from the Hard Truth Distilling Company Studios mobile unit at Churchill Downs in Louisville. Back with more right after these messages.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth's sour mash bourbons, sweet mash, and hard road ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular toasted coconut rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive. When it comes to apparel and promotions, Freethink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. Freethink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. Freethink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what Freethink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com.
All right. Well, welcome back. Jim just disappeared, and he's popping right back up, and we got Zach Osterman here. So I will get out of here. And
what's that?
I said, what's your job? What do you do?
I'm a reporter. What's yours?
I'm just here to enjoy it.
Where are you from?
Tennessee.
Where in Tennessee?
Morristown. About 45 miles east.
Step this way.
Hey, Bob, get a picture.
We're just came back. Jim Coyle with you. Coming to you from the Hard Truth Distilling Company Studios from Churchill Downs, Louisville, side of today's Kentucky Oaks. Joined now by whom?
Matt Stewart.
Matt Stewart from where in Tennessee?
Morristown, Tennessee.
Morristown. And
Bunky Clark.
William Bunky Clark, Morristown, Tennessee.
Well, with a name like Bunky, you're either a good gambler or a basketball player back in the day.
A little of both. I'm a hustler.
Hustler. Woo, you found the right place here, man.
Yes, sir. That's what I come for. I want to leave with my pockets, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people come here like that.
That's right.
They don't leave like that, unfortunately. Have you been here before?
No, this is the first time.
First time for both of us.
What prompted y'all to come up here?
It's something I've always wanted to do. It's on the bucket list, and
it's a wise choice. It's worthy of coming. It's a fun time. Where are your seats?
It's right before the finish line.
Man, you guys did it right, huh?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we lucked that got good seats, and hopefully we'll enjoy ourselves.
You got any horse picks, any Derby picks, Oaks picks?
On the Derby picks, we do.
Who we got?
Well, I did have Rodriguez, but they scratched him, so I can't remember the other horse's name.
Be sure I give thanks. This man just retired 30 years of law enforcement.
Oh, well, thank you for your service.
Retired.
30 years.
Thank you for your service. Morristown,
That's about 45 miles east of Knoxville, close to Pigeon Forge, Sevierville.
Oh, yeah.
Dolly Parton.
Oh, yeah.
Right
Down there,
there
I got a lot of friends
come
down there. Absolutely. Well, guys, enjoy your day, man. You look spiffy. Looking great.
You look good yourself.
Appreciate you. You guys, thank you very much, man. Enjoy your day. My pleasure to meet you and you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Have fun. And that's what it's about. We're having fun. All right. I did not get a Lily. But
we got.
I bit the bullet. Almost literally. Hey, come back over here when you get done. My old producer just slapped me on the butt. I was like, who was that? Nice.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, that shocked me a little bit. I was wondering who that was. I was like, literally slapped me on the butt. I'm like, okay, because that was solid. And, Justin Kalin, my former producer, was walking by, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, having fun down here. That's what it's about, having fun, getting out. It's like Indy. Man, you people got to get out and go to Indianapolis if you live in the area and you haven't been to that race. I know it's, people are like, oh, it's a pain, but there are just some things in life you do for the experience. And
yeah, the Coke parking lot. I have a lot of great memories from the Coke parking lot, or memories that I completely forgot at the Speedway there. But I got Zach Osterman's ready to go here. If you wanna, I'll splice him in for you here.
Sounds great. Appreciate you. Zach Osterman, Indy Stars IU beat writer, joining us now. Zach, obviously coming from Churchill Downs in Louisville today for the Kentucky Oaks. But how are you? How was the little five?
Actually, I was good. I can't believe you didn't ask those people from Sevierville about Dolly Parton.
Well, he talked about Dolly bits. What do you want me to ask him about?
Sevierville is where Dolly Parton's from.
Yeah.
It was actually a hotbed of abolitionist activity before and during the Civil War. There were a few pockets of Tennessee that didn't support seceding from the Union, and Sevierville was one of them.
Wow, I did not know that. I love the history. I love that. I got a lot of friends that are from down that area. Yeah, it's a crazy area. I actually dated a girl from down that way as well. But, yeah, how was Little Five?
It was good. It was good. I came out of it with a sinus infection, but other than that, we got no complaint.
That's good. How did the weather end up being?
It was fine. We got both races in like normal. I don't remember if did it rain. I think it might have rained some late Friday night, but it wound up being fine for the women's race and even better for the men's race. It was sunny and dry, and the wind kind of died down, so we got lucky with the weekend.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad to hear that thing went off. Indiana basketball and football continue to add the pieces to their rosters. Indiana basketball, of course, a little closer to getting, I guess, to where they need to get. Still, a lot of people think that there's that one spot that they still have to add to, which is for depth. I don't know what to call it. The center spot, the five spot, a big spot, but another taller guy, for lack of a better phraseology.
Yeah, I'm just not at this point. I'm not sure. I feel like that's a bit of a flex position. I mean, I think we have to infer for the moment that they're holding a spot for Luke Goody. You know, Goody didn't enter the portal, which that was a rule change that I'd not quite processed. That grad transfers can enter the portal anytime they want before the window, but they've got to be in the portal by the end of the window. That used to be the case. So the fact that Goody's not in the portal says that he's either going to play for Indiana next year or his college career is over. Again, I don't, I want to be careful putting words in people's mouths, but I think we can infer from the fact that Goody didn't go into the portal that Indiana is trying to hold that spot for him if he can get his extra year of eligibility. So let's assume for a moment Indiana's at 12. You could go for another big at 13. You could go for a freshman you might think is a little bit appealing at 13. You could hold that spot. I think about times, and we've seen Indiana do this with Race Thompson. I've seen other schools do this where a player comes out of the spring and summer circuit and decides they want to reclassify and just go ahead and start college. Having that flexibility, allows you to maybe take a player late in the cycle like that. With Indiana, if you want to say, does Indiana have a need? I would say if there is a clear and present need, it's probably another big. But if you're going to play Reed Bailey at the 5 some, and I don't know that he's necessarily full-time 5, but I think you'll play him there some of the time. And then you've got Sam Alexis and Josh Harris.
Josh Harris.
To my mind, that's enough. If you think there's another big out there that's kind of the best available and makes you better, then go get that. But I don't know that it's a pressing need in the way that it was before Indiana picked up Harris and Alexis.
Yeah, I've talked a lot about how athletic this team is going to be. And I would love to see some of the practices these guys are going to have, because I think there's going to be some get after it, because these guys are going to be competing for minutes. So many guys that are playing the same position that are going to be competing for playing time.
No, I think even more fundamentally than that, there's an extent to which, and I'm looking up at my scholarship chart here. It's not like there's any pre-established hierarchy. None of these guys have been around. You would imagine experienced guys are just naturally going to have a leg up on younger guys, but it's not like there's going to be any sort of, this guy's been in the system for 3 years, so he knows it inside and out, other than, I guess, Tucker DeVries and maybe to a certain extent Connor Enright will have that. But I think there's such an element to this team of, if you can go earn it, you're probably going to get it, because it's so brand new. Even if you get Goody back, again, even recognizing the experience that someone like Tucker DeVries is going to have in this system, the team as a whole construct is so new that, I doubt Darian DeVries is going to feel like he's wedded very much at all in this group, if you know what I'm saying. I think there's going to be a lot of just sort of, if you can prove it, go get it. And I think that's where Indiana's probably going to be through the summer and into the preseason. We know they're going to take a preseason tour. We'll see where that is. I wouldn't be shocked if we hear on that fairly soon, because that stuff's just got to get arranged a few weeks in it, more than just a few weeks in advance. But I think if you're Darian DeVries, probably part of the sell to a lot of these guys is there's no sort of predetermined kind of hierarchy or rotation here. We're a brand new team, and anybody who comes in and proves they can help us win is going to get minutes.
Yeah, but the trip, just to not break something, but going to Puerto Rico, I think that got slipped by accident on the show a week or so ago. But are those trips that fans will be able to go to?
Yeah, Puerto Rico is in. It's technically in the continental United States.
I know that. No, you don't.
It depends on where it is, like what the structure is. I know that teams have gone and played, and I'll look it up while we're talking here. I know that teams that have gone down there before have played at, I think it's called the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. And I'm looking it up now. That's 12,500 people. Now, I think there is a team that plays there. There is, and I'm not going to Cangrejeros de Santurce. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly. There's a team that is kind of their home arena. But I think that my understanding anyway is that there have been a number of teams that have done the Puerto Rico tour have played at that arena. So I would assume that they will sell tickets and that fans can get in. And I can also, listen, I've been on 2 foreign tours with Indiana, one to Canada. A lot of those, I'm not trying to be flippant, but a lot of those games are played in some of the high school gyms in the United States. But fans that made the trip generally still got in. And when Indiana played in the Bahamas in 2021, there were quite a lot of Indiana fans there, and they just set up the Imperial Ballroom down there the same way they do Battle for Atlantis. I think Indiana, presumably, I don't see why these Indiana games wouldn't be accessible to fans. But I don't want to tell anybody to start booking flights until we're sure.
And the reason for going on these trips, obviously, a team like this that is coming together. Most of these guys have not met yet. I don't know if they've all talked to each other yet. I know they've probably texted each other. They're on a text chain together. But those trips are meant to get more games, more practice, more time together, more bonding. They're supposed to do a lot of things, right?
No, DeVries, when we got a chance to talk to him, it sounded like he wanted this trip to be a little bit less about and this was obviously in the very early planning stages, but a little bit less about experiences in terms of, I don't know, if you go to Italy, we're going to go to the Colosseum, or we're going to go to the Vatican, or we're going to go, to somewhere in Florence or Milan or wherever, Venice, and more about just going to an environment where the team would spend a lot of time together. And I think he meant that both on the floor, and we know that the advantage of these foreign tours from a competitive perspective is you get as many as 10 extra full practices, not the limited stuff we do in the summer, but 10 full practices, as well as I think it's up to 5 or 6 games. I don't think Indiana's going to play a full complement of games, but still, games are games. That level of competition is useful. But I think he also meant that off the court in terms of, just time spent bonding, time spent around one another, time spent sort of gelling into one team. Because, as you said, as I said earlier too, this group has spent basically no time together, and there's a lot that's got to be worked out. Yes, on the court in terms of your hierarchy of minutes and rotations and roles, but then off the court too, in terms of your team chemistry, locker room, and how everybody kind of pulls together.
Yeah, I've had Josh Harris, Jason Drake both on, and I get this, and I know everybody they always want to say the right thing, and I'm not talking about those guys, but just in general. But all these guys, they seem to be talking the same language, and like I just said, everyone can say the words. It does remind me of the guys that were coming together last year on the football side of things, all seeing the same vision. They've all talked about that Darian DeVries, his vision of what he has and how he resonates that with these guys and explains it to them. And they've all talked about how he is clear about it, and it's definitely resonating with them.
I think there's probably always an extent to which people like us overthink some of this, if you know what I mean. Basketball is basketball, you know what I mean? And I feel like we do this a lot with quarterbacks in football. When you get a transfer quarterback and everybody says, well, how different is all of this? And they say, well, it's different terminology, but football's football. Offense is offense. 3 trips receivers to one side is going to be a lot of the same concepts, whether you're, calling it one thing or calling it another. And I think to the extent to which, especially if the coach has done a lot of the hard work early on in connecting with kids, and as you said, really kind of getting them singing off the same hymn sheet, a lot of this does just become like basketball's basketball. And it's really easy to think that the experience at Indiana, I don't know, is completely separate to West Virginia or at Auburn or at UCLA or whatever. But there's a great extent to which basketball is basketball, and obviously players are going to respond to different coaches' styles and different coaches' approaches. That was a coming out of my mouth. I apologize, but as long as, and this goes back to something DeVries kind of reiterated several times, that in his mind, a lot of the hard work gets done up front to make sure you don't have added extra work to do on the back end. And he's talking about evaluating players, evaluating personalities, picking the right kids, the right characters, the right skill sets, etc. As long as you get a lot of that right, then the rest of it, in theory, should pretty much just take care of itself. And I think, again, especially with a team as experienced as this one, a lot of these guys have played a lot of basketball. And there's been a lot of discussion of, how many players Indiana's taking from mid-major teams. And what I've said many times is I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to evaluate that. But one thing I would point out is that means you're getting a lot of dudes that have played tons of minutes. A lot of guys that have been in big roles for several years. You think about somebody like Lamar Wilkerson, or somebody like Tucker DeVries, or somebody like Tate Conaway. These are guys that have played a lot, yes, maybe at a lower level, but they played a lot of minutes, and so there's probably not a lot that they haven't seen on a basketball floor. And maybe you've got to tweak the terminology a little bit, or you communicate it or teach it a little bit differently. But like the uptake is probably going to be faster, whether it's your drills, your schemes, or just your messaging and your communication style. There's probably not a lot that this roster hasn't seen.
Yeah, and you'd think that by now, after what we saw with Indiana football, the Kirk Cincinnati, but also the Dalton Connects of the world, and guys like that, Shirts, I mentioned them earlier, these guys that come out of nowhere, and once given the opportunity, there's a lot better basketball players out there than I think people realize. They just don't all get the opportunity.
And I think you're seeing, to be fair, I think you're seeing more of them filter up now. I don't think it's by accident that you're starting to see more of these guys, drift up the food chain, I guess, for lack of a better term. And you are seeing, and again, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but arguably Florida's two most important players, Walter Clayton and Elijah Martin, were both long time mid-major players before they transferred to Florida. Clayton spent 2 years at Iona before he went to Florida. Martin was with Dusty May at Florida Atlantic before he got to UF. Auburn, Chad Baker-Mazara played at San Diego State. Janai Broome, I know people kind of forget this because he was at Auburn for so long, but Janai Broome began his career at Morehead State, played there 2 years before he went to Auburn. You're just seeing more of these players filter up because the opportunities are there, and also because there was a lot of discussion of is NIL, is the portal making it harder for mid-majors, during the NCAA tournament, because it was a very chalky NCAA tournament. And I don't think that's wrong. I think, Todd Golden actually spoke really eloquently about why he thinks it's more the portal than NIL. And Golden obviously was at the mid-major level until a couple of years ago. But I think there's also an element that we haven't discussed as much around that, which is just that there's so much information available anymore. There's scouting video available on YouTube. A kid can commit to Indiana, and between 3 different analytics sites, I can give you a pretty in-depth statistical profile of him that maybe 10 years ago you would only have been able to get if you had a Synergy account or something like that. But there are no secrets anymore. So if a kid is just kind of going crazy at a lower level, it's easy to spot him, scout him, and recognize whether he got that ability to jump up now. So I just think, yes, the portal makes it easier and NIL makes it more lucrative, but more than ever before, you're just seeing, you're seeing so many of these players just filtering up, and that leads to, the talent centralization that I think we're seeing at the highest level of sport.
Yeah, and it's been just a massive turn in the industry, but in the sport itself, and for fans. I mean, there's a lot of groups of fans that have seen teams rise, and then others are like, "Hey, man, where did our program to go?" But it is also great to see some new series coming back. That's our own series, the Kentucky series, obviously, and then the Louisville series that was added. A little surprised. I was a little surprised to see that one, but very aggressive with the preseason scheduling so far for Darian DeVries.
Yeah, so from what I've heard, and I might be wrong, just to specify it, I think that Louisville game is a one-off. Not that they'll never play Louisville again, and this is the second year in a row they'll play Louisville, or the third year in a row they'll play Louisville. Obviously, the first two of those were arranged in tournaments, but still, I think it gets back to the idea that you're talking about, which is, pitting Indiana against other historically successful programs. And I think a lot of Indiana fans were justifiably excited to see that Kentucky series back on the schedule. I know there was, the Kansas series. Obviously, Indiana lost both games, but there was widespread appreciation for that series. Not necessarily something you can do just kind of, indefinitely, because both schools are going to have tournaments they want to be in, and they're going to have different scheduling, sort of needs and things. But listen, if you think back to, if you just think about basically the last 4 years, Indiana's played Arizona in a one-off neutral site game. It's been in Atlantis. It's been in, I would say, probably the most prestigious MTE in New York, the Empire Classic at the Garden. It's now going to have restarted the Kentucky series, played Louisville 3 years in a row, and played a home and home with Kansas. Those are, that's the level of non-conference scheduling that I think Indiana fans want to see from their program consistently. And you're not always going to be able to do it cleanly. And listen, there are sacrifices too, right? I know a number of Bloomington-based fans who haven't been thrilled with the lack of a marquee game on the home schedule. Season ticket holders at Assembly Hall who feel like, why are we playing Louisville and Indianapolis? Why are we going out to the Bahamas but not playing a game, a really high-profile, meaningful game at home? It's always a balancing act. I've written about scheduling for years and years and years, and what I found is you're never going to make everyone happy all the time, but if you are ambitious enough, you'll make everybody happy enough most of the time. And I think what you're seeing from Indiana in the last few years is a real purpose and intent to get the program back onto the kinds of stages that they want to be more competitive at, again, just going forward into the future.
Speaking of scheduling, I don't know this. How do they go about coming up with these games, these games that we all want to see? But is it the athletic director that's thinking this, or is it a department that he has working on it? How do those games come about?
It's a little bit of a lot of things. Obviously, with tournaments, they're organizing, groups, companies that tend to pull a lot of that together, and they will approach a variety of schools, and those things tend to be planned a few years in advance, of course. I was hearing as far back as 2022 that Indiana was going to be in the battle for Atlantis in 2024. Maui tends to schedule its fields out 4 to 5 years in advance. When you set up the one-off events or the home and home type series like Kentucky or Kansas, usually the way that works is, there's some, either at maybe the athletic director level or maybe at the program level, there's sort of a mutual interest that's registered. And then you have to go through a series of issues. You have to find dates that work for both. You've got to figure out the parameters of, we'll pay you this much to come here, you pay us this much to go there. Here's how travel will work. Here's how, here's the ticket allotment for the visiting fans, all that kind of stuff. And that, obviously that's not all just going to be at the AD level, or there will be different people in the department that will help handle, kind of ticking all of the boxes that go into that. And then one of the big ones is you need to find a TV partner. And listen, you're never going to have trouble finding a TV partner for IU Kentucky or IU Kansas. But you got to make sure you have that stuff lined up too. And that's where sometimes TV networks will be more active and they'll say, hey, listen, we'd really like to see this. We'd really like to get IU Kansas on the December schedule. Let's make this work. And then there's a driving force behind that, and maybe that comes with a financial component or at least kind of a marketing and exposure component. But the point is, it's never just one person or one department. It's kind of the interest will be, the mutual interest will be registered either at maybe an AD level, a coach level, a staff level, and then once everyone kind of agrees, we think this can work. Let's make this works for both of us. Let's make this happen. That's when it really kind of spreads out to both departments to figure out all the logistics.
The coaching staff has really been bumped up. Rod Clark from University of Tennessee, another great addition. Darian DeVries has done a really, really good job filling his staff, and he's done a good job not rushing, he's not rushed with any of this, it seems like. It's like the old adage, be fast but don't hurry, from the coach that I didn't like. But he's just added some really. Kenny Johnson was a guy I didn't really see coming, and then you bring him in, and then Rod Clark got him away from Tennessee. The staff is really good fit.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they add a fifth. I mean, that was the size that he carried at West Virginia, and it seemed to be like his early aim in Bloomington. I don't know that it's sort of something he's been to. And I think that I think the good news for Indiana, I think the rule is you can have 3. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can have more than 3 coaches who are certified to go on the road recruiting now. I think the rule is you can have as many as 3 assistants on the road at any one time. So even if you have a staff of 5 assistants, I think the rule is just the head coach and 3 can be on the road recruiting at any one time. But what that means is, generally speaking, right now, even if Indiana wants to add a 5th, they don't necessarily need one right away. They don't, like, you've got, I think, enough of a staff here that once we start hitting the evaluation windows that are coming up, you're going to be able to cover ground on the recruiting trail as much as you need to. Obviously, it's about to be very quiet around Cook Hall for just a few weeks. Kind of the end of the spring semester is when basketball players tend to be given the dispensation to go home. We'll see if maybe every once in a while you see some of these guys, especially transfers, that want to get a head start. So once their academic year is over, they just move straight to Bloomington. But the team won't come together in a really meaningful way again until probably the end of May, beginning of June. So if DeVries does want to add a 5th, or if he wants to build out his support staff beyond his DOBO, his director of operations, he's got some time, he's got some runway now to do it without a lot of penalty for it not being complete. But we'll see. I mean, the staff ticks a lot of boxes already. He's got some guys who know him in Tanner Sturtz and Nick Norton. He's got some guys who know the area, like Kenny Johnson obviously spent a lot of time in the Midwest. Of course, Drew Adams as well. And now you're bringing in a coach who's got a very impressive track record and resume in Rod Clark. It does seem like a lot of your boxes are ticked, and if Indiana wants to add one more, I think they've probably got 2.
Rod Clark, obviously involved with a lot of the high-profile players that played in Tennessee in the recent years. What all does he bring to this staff and to this program?
I mean, I think it excuse me. Sorry. I've been fighting off that sinus infection. To me, like the most basic question I sort of answer that with is, when was the last time Indiana hired an assistant coach off an Elite 18? The idea that, yes, you've got the money, but also the appeal, the belief in the project, because an assistant coach, there were a couple of assistants that were linked to Indiana that, based on what I heard, just felt they were so close to getting head jobs themselves that they just kind of wanted to stay in a pretty steady situation and leave not sort of restart building their sort of profile or reputation But I mean, Rod Clark could get. I mean, he fits that kind of bill in terms of the players he's helped recruit, the players he's helped develop, the success that the program he's been a part of recently has had. I mean, Tennessee's been one of the most consistent programs in the country in the last 3 or 4 years under Rick Barnes. And like I said, it just, it's one thing when you're hiring guys that maybe you're following the previous staff or, something like that. But when you're going out and hiring someone who I think it's fair to say Tennessee probably did not want to lose, that has had a lot of success at Tennessee, I think that kind of speaks for itself in my mind in terms of just the way that I think people are within the sport are viewing kind of DeVries' hiring and what they think he's going to build in Bloomington.
Yeah, there's nothing but positives going around. And the players that I've spoken to, I mentioned this earlier, they're talking the same language that reminds me of the guys last year when Signetti came in. They really seem to be getting a focus towards one common goal, which you have to let that play out, of course. But, at least when you hear that and you get that sense, that's always better than the alternative. But it seems like this could really be the time that Indiana fans have been waiting for, to where the program at least takes a turn to a different direction, and in a direction to where it looks very, very positive and like on its upward trajectory.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any question. And listen, I mean, you and I have both seen enough sort of false starts to feel like you need to see the proof on the floor before you kind of believe in it. But I think certainly, I mean, a lot like what we would have said about Kirk Signetti in his first few months in the job. There's been nothing that's raised red flags so far. There's been nothing but sort of good momentum and stuff that made, outcomes that made a lot of sense, essentially. Equity, ending players that help, making good hires, building a good staff. A lot of the momentum is justifiably positive. Yes, you need to see it on the floor. And if you do, you just can't buy into it too, sort of too hook, line, and sinker, I guess. But everything to this point has built on positive momentum. And I think if you're Indiana, that's the best you can hope for.
Absolutely. Zach Osterman, I appreciate you, my friend.
Absolutely. Enjoy yourself down there.
Thank you, sir. You have a great weekend yourself.
I'll do it. I'm just trying to beat this sinus infection. I don't think you're going to catch me. I don't think you're going to catch me at the Downs this weekend, unfortunately.
Get well, brother. Get well. Zach Osterman joining us on Indiana Sports Beat Radio, coming to you from the Hard Truth Distilling Company Studios. I was going to say right, but south is where Churchill Downs, where the Kentucky Oaks run today. Absolutely great bunch of people filing in. We've got lots more coming up. We'll be back with it right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's COYLE, to receive a discounted fundraiser. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. When it comes to apparel and promotions, Freethink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. Freethink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. Freethink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what Freethink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com.
Welcome back to the Hard Truth Distilling Company Studios mobile unit as we have moved south to Louisville, Kentucky, Churchill Downs. Today's running of the Kentucky Oaks, and the horses are, I don't know if they've ran a race yet or they're about to, but I can hear them going. I can't see any of the TV. That's okay, though. Man,
yeah, what's the situation like? Do they run races every day leading up to the
Derby week? During the week normally I think they run Wednesday forward. Maybe it's Tuesday, but if it's Tuesday normally, that's what it is. They don't run on Mondays. But other than that, they will run now through July 4th, I think, and then it goes dark and comes back in the fall and ends up around Thanksgiving, I think. So, yeah, it'll run. I mean, the track just opened about a week ago. So, but they run up through the summer into July. But, oh, man, got all kinds of I got to see if I can get these guys over here. This is a very unique Derby outfit. If I can, hey, guys, you got to get you over here, man. This is a great outfit. You guys got one of the best ones with the Navy.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
We're out here in Kentucky.
Have you been out to the Derby at Oaks before?
Yeah, it's our 11th straight year.
11th straight year. What brings you out here? What about it do you like so much?
I like the weather.
I got to make sure you got to go over here. Oops. National anthem. Sorry. Talk low. And I know we're on radio. So we'll have to. Well, that was an unexpected break. I did not know that. But guys, enjoy your day, man. What's your names?
Burton.
What's that?
EM3 Burton.
I'm Webb. Yeah.
You guys, enjoy your day, man. Appreciate you very much. Just taking it to the man. That was the first. How are you, sir? Thank you for your service. Man, we got all kinds of servicemen around here now. I'm feeling very protected. But yeah, I couldn't hear that. I didn't hear the national anthem until I saw him start saluting, and I'm like, oh man, that's going to be a situation. How we handle that? But as long as you can hear it, prevents us from having dead air. How'd the national anthem come across?
You guys look fantastic out there. Really patriotic. So.
Could you hear it?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Coming through the speakers.
I just want to make sure, man. I don't want there to be dead air. Can't have dead air. We've got enough movements going on. Oh, man. Yeah, I wish you guys could all see what I get to see. There's a beard. That's a beard. But it really gets crazy tomorrow. And I'm not in the. I'm over on the end, away from, and there's tons of people that I can see still filing in through one of the gates. But there is a boatload of them over on the other side of that. And I'm probably glad I'm not in that mess. That would probably get up border on uncontrollable of being able people coming up. At least they're not overserved this yet. Maybe later in the day they might get to that point probably. But or it depends if they win or lose.
Oh yeah, I bet people really tie one on down there when crap really hits the fan, you know.
The one dude from Tennessee said he's going to leave here with a pocket full of money. I'm like, there's a lot of people that have come here thinking they're going to do that. But man, a lot of pink here today. So the people are showing out for the breast cancer awareness, which is very, very cool and supportive. So, but and here comes one, man. Here comes a gentleman in a beach hat and kind of a Don Johnson.
A Miami Vice.
I got to get a shot of this. There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's good looking there, man.
Thank you.
Where'd you pick that thing up at?
Online.
Oh,
yeah.
Special. What's your name?
Ozzy.
Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
First time?
No, 21st.
I didn't think you were a rookie. What brings you from Philly into the
I love the horses. And it's a great time. It's the best race of all three of them.
It is a fun time. I've been telling people, if you haven't ever done it, the experience. Has she been?
That's my wife, yeah.
Have you been to all of them with him?
Yeah.
What's your name? Nancy. Well, you guys enjoy the day, man.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the 21st.
Thank you.
My pleasure to meet you guys. Philadelphians. Man, they're all from all over. They love it. 21st. It's 21st time in here. It's amazing. So many people, and it's the same for Indy, that live in the area, in an area of an event like that have never gone. It'll surprise you. A lot of people come from out of town to these events. Well, the Indianapolis is pushing 330,000 people. Today there'll be 100 plus, and tomorrow upwards of 150,000. Lots of people come from all over the place to these things and enjoy the hell out of it. A lot of guys a lot of Navy presence today. Not sure what that's about.
And he said the horses are magnificent. I mean, the times I went to those races, it's just the majesty of those animals. I mean, the athleticism of those animals. I mean, it's really, really something to see. And when they come down the back stretch and they're all stomping, I mean, it's like everything's shaking around you if you get down on the ground level. But yeah, it's pretty intense. I would suggest it to anybody to at least go to something like that, even if you go to Breeders' Cup or whatever, just to check it out.
The betting windows are open. Wagering is happening. Drinks are flowing, and they have been drank. Look who there's got some water. He's a wise one. Yeah, it starts out great for everybody. It doesn't always end that way. He's back. He's got a winner, chicken dinner. What we got? Is this Oaks race derby? What is this?
$1 tri-part wheel. And then I got $1 superfecta keys.
Well, when you win, you got to come back and find me.
As long as you put me on the radio.
I just did.
Okay.
We'll do it again. That was that dude from Texas that joined us earlier. He had a handful of tickets. Said he's got a bunch of winners.
All right. Well,
it's funny.
Well, you got
to take another break, unfortunately, or last one. But we'll get it all cleaned up. Come back, see if we can find some unique people to talk to. Coming to you from the Hard Truth Distilling Company Studios. Right after this.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State.
Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue, and you get it for just 0.9% financing. Or the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition or the Honda Accord LX, both for just 1.9% financing. Get more to your door from AndyMooreHonda.com, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer and your best place for new and used vehicles. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth's sour mash bourbons, sweet mash, and hard road ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular toasted coconut rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back to the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios on this fantastic Friday, Kentucky Oaks Friday, as I'm coming to you from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. Just down visiting the people, looking at everybody making their bets right now. Man, they're getting after it early and often. Not me, baby. I did the smart thing. I don't have that much cash on me. I didn't have time to stop. And thank goodness, because if you don't have cash, you can't spend it. So I got that going for me, which is nice. And I like it a lot. But it's going to be a fun day out here, I certainly hope. I hope it's going to be a fun day for you. What's the weekend looking like, people? What are you guys going to do? What do you got lined up? Do you watch the Derby? You got Indianapolis coming up in a few weeks as well. The Hoosiers event that goes on, that happens down this way in southern Indiana. That is on the 28th, a Wednesday. And if you don't have tickets to it, I doubt you're getting tickets to it, especially this year. And who was it that asked? Rick Bozich asked the great question. In essence, who's going to be the headliner? It's always been about the basketball coach. Started out as the Bob Knight situation, and now Kurt Signetti has taken over as the guy that people want to talk to. It's the guy that people want to hear from. And I think that's who will, in my opinion, will probably be the headliner. So, but we'll look forward to seeing how that goes down. I think they'll have to, I guess, alternate who speaks last, because as Rick said, you don't want to follow Signetti. How are you going to follow that?
Yeah.
It's a lot of personality to follow. But a lot of people that are listening, I know you get to go to Hubers. If you haven't been to it, it's a big event. They get about 900 people over to Hubers Orchard and Winery, and that comes up on the 28th of this month, like I said. But that'll be an opportunity that we get to speak to Darian DeVries and Kurt Signetti. It'll be the last time we speak to probably both of them for a while. Kurt Signetti until July, and that will be at Big Ten Football Media Days, which is in Las Vegas. And then I don't know when we'll get to talk to Darian DeVries. Of course, I'm going to try to get him on here. We're supposed to have him on. And but schedules have been pretty hectic, and we understand that. But yeah, look, I don't know if I'm looking forward to going to Big Ten Football Media Days this summer in Las Vegas or not, because it's going to be in Las Vegas in July, and that is hot. you can fry an egg on the sidewalk out there, I think, in July. So not really looking forward to that, especially it won't be the weather like it is right now here. The fire people, appreciate your service. Got a lot going on here. A lot of pink, like I said, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Support Day. That guy's got a jacket on that is just red. It ain't pink, man. I'm not sure what he was going for, but that is not it. Missed the mark. Maybe fuchsia. Maybe it's fuchsia.
Yeah. Really got to go all in with the pink, you know.
Still, yeah, it's not pink. But I did want to ask the guy a minute ago that was here that where do you get a suit like that? I guess online. But
yeah.
And all kinds of stuff for sale over there's one of these tents over there. I cannot imagine the money you could spend buying some merch at the Kentucky Derby. Or yeah, it's Oakstead. But Kentucky Derby coming up tomorrow. More suits coming in. I was hoping to see some funky designs today. But like I said, I'm over on this. I've seen some very nice, finely dressed people here. Just gentlemen, nice jacket, nice. Everybody looking very fine. Looking good. Making me feel underdressed, man.
Some of those hats got like a bird's nest in it being there, you know.
Feel like a hobo today, man. I'm in a sport coat, but man, the weather is awesome. I was heard it was going to be possibly raining, but not. Pacers are back on Sunday. Game 1 of their series with Cleveland. Man, they have to take on the Cavs, who just smoked Miami. Khalil Ware, one of the IU guys, knocked out of the playoff by Cleveland, and they just swept them 4-0. It's going to be a tough task for the Pacers, but they're feeling pretty confident right now. They're playing very confident. You heard Chris Denari yesterday when he was on with us talk about the team, and they are. They look different than they looked a year ago. They look like they're playing with a little more swagger than they were a year ago. But I can tell you, man, there's the Crown Royal guy. I want to get him. He's got his whole suit is Crown Royal. It's up to the hat. But anyway, John Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton's father, will not be attending any more of the Pacers playoff games. And that was something that they agreed to after his run-in with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mr. Halliburton apologized to the Pacers, to fans, to Giannis Antetokounmpo after the run-in in which he acknowledged that shouldn't have happened. And no, it shouldn't have. There's no excuse. But this is a product of all these people that are getting all this access now. It doesn't even matter if it's he could have been any Joe Blow. These people that have those seats down there, all close to the court. I noticed. I guess maybe I don't know if it's Indianapolis. It might have been, but the benches are moved so far off the ends now that the fifth, sixth player on, they're at the baseline and below. They've got seats in between at like center court now, and I'm like, wow. So they are squeezing seats in every single place they can to make a nickel on those things, man. But that has also given these people access that is, I just don't think is safe. And at some point, something is going to happen. There's always been most calls, spilling drinks. I mean, what the hell? There should be no chance that somebody can spill a drink on a court. But it's happened. It's happened, and that stuff will go on. I think the access is a little too much, but that's my rant for the day. That's the hard truth for the day, people. Speaking of which, go out and get yourself some hard truth. Matter of fact, just go to Hard Truth. They're in Nashville, Indiana. Enjoy it. It is a fantastic 325-acre facility that you can have dinner, enjoy some outdoor music, obviously some incredible spirits, and you know who to share those spirits with, or it makes a great gift. But the hard truth is I'm down here in a different brand territory, but I'll keep saying the hard truth. The weekend is upon. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree about of all the sports is like basketball. I mean, you can get the closest to the action. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people love about it, but there's definitely something's got to be done about just being able to, I don't know, get out there just because you're able to buy a floor seat ticket or get access that way. It's crazy because at a baseball game or football game, you know, you're not gonna be able to get out on the field or get out on, you know, without somebody taking you out, really.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a difference for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a different world. And with all of the way today has been, we go back to Monica Seles when she got stabbed in the tennis match. I mean, this is not that. I understand that. I'm not trying to suggest that it is. I'm just saying, what is it going to take that to basketball? In basketball, they're the only sport that does that. Nobody else puts fans in such close proximity. And I just don't understand how they don't understand. Stuff's going to happen. It's just going to happen. Oh, I got to get this dude over here. Hey, man, come here. Oh, come on, come here. Oh, look at that little dude, man. He's looking good. He's looking fly. Dude.
Looked like a wedding party going by.
He was a kid. But I just tried to get him over there. He was decked out in his something suit, man, looking fly. Hey, it's been a fun day. As always, I cannot thank everybody enough. Big thanks to Todd, Leary, and Coach Doc Osterman. Thank you, Aaron, for backing up today and handling the post-production. Most importantly, thanks to each and every one of you. I hope you guys go out and have yourselves a fantastic day. Thank you for sticking through us on this unusual show. We're back on Monday, being regular again. Until then, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat.
Shoot. All right. Well, I'll have to edit this part out.